seen it. What is it? It's like fucking a bottle opener.
Yeah, it fits right in your wallet. You can fucking open bottles with it, and it's the fucking man card. And it's actually made out of like steel. So if you really wanted to fucking slice somebody up, you could do it. Fucking jab somebody right in the eyeball.
Something they call like the ninja fucking thing.
No, it's just called the man card from the tribe.
I'm saying that there's another one. It's called the ninja something, whatever, and it has like little like screwdriver slots and shit. Fucking tight and shit.
Swiss Army knife? I don't really know what you're talking about.
It looks exactly like the thing you were holding. It looks like a credit card and it slips in your wallet the same way. But it has little notches cut out. You can
Are we recording yet?
Yeah, I've fucking been on the second fucking shit on. I try to start recording right away so we can see how long it takes Sage to log on.
You say that every time.
Because it's the truth,
and
man.
It's usually the first one on, you jackass.
Not today. We were on here for like half an hour already. We're almost done. You just fucking hopped off.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, everybody's clear. I can hear you just fine.
All right, word.
Where's the cat?
He'll probably be out here trying to knock down my phone pretty soon.
Word. We are back. Took a little break there. We had some holidays in between. Rona got bad again. We had an election or something. At least I heard that. So we're back in there, and sports are fucking running full. Weird, but full. We got a football game tomorrow at 3:40 p.m.
Really? It's in the middle of the day?
Yeah, it's 3:40.
Well, you want to know why?
Yeah, why?
Tomorrow night, NBC already has in prime time the lighting of the tree at Rockefeller Center.
Lame.
And they ain't bumping it. So 3:40, you got football. This is great. Football in the afternoon on a Wednesday.
Oh yeah, sign me up.
You got football again on Thursday. Then you got it again on Saturday, and then again on Sunday.
There ain't football on Thursday.
There's no football this week?
No, they canceled this Thursday. They moved it to Monday, the Thursday game, because it was supposed to be Ravens.
Oh shit. And
yeah,
they all have their own. Somebody else got it today. Their defensive backs.
Yeah, they got another positive test today. So what are they going to move it back again?
No, they said the NFL expected it.
I got Big Ben and Juju. I need the fantasy points.
You know, real talk. This just causing havoc in fantasy. You don't know who to start, who to not start. No, they have enough people to play. I mean, you can't. After fucking you made Denver play with a practice squad quarterback.
Kenny Hinton. Yo, shout out to Kenny Hinton. He was balling.
Yo, shout for real, man. That's probably. Is there anything harder to do in sports than to come in and play quarterback in an NFL team against a pretty good defense? You haven't played quarterback in what 5-6 years?
And it wasn't like he was practicing with the team as a receiver. They just brought him in off the practice squad out of nowhere. He wasn't even on their practice squad.
I need to make a quick comment.
Wow, I didn't know they pulled him off the street.
Yeah. That's why I want to offer some perspective.
So he didn't know the plays or nothing.
Yeah, this guy was pulled off the street, off the practice squad on Saturday, played Sunday, and the Denver offense scored as many points as the Jets did. Just going to leave that there.
Adam Gase?
Yeah, exactly. Now, I was going to save this for later, but we might as well talk about it now. How the fuck does he still have a job?
Hold up. We've been off so long, I feel that it would be remiss if we didn't mention the most tragic thing that happened while we were out, and that's Cardi B's nipples. Such a good-looking woman. Such a good-looking woman, so successful, such a nice body, and then the leak of her nipples came out. It looks like the fucking ink blot paintings that like the psychiatrists show to people to see what they're thinking about in their mind.
She got boxed up?
Bro, it looks like somebody dropped an M80 on the front of her tit and it exploded.
That's disgusting.
For anybody who hasn't seen it, Google Cardi B nipples and take your safe search off.
Sage, what are your thoughts on Cardi B?
I haven't seen them.
Neither have I, and I'm glad I haven't.
But
you know the psychiatrists when they hold up the ink blot and they're like, "What does this make you think of?" That's what her nipples look like.
Now, let me ask you a question, though, Gets. What's worse, Cardi B's nipples or the job that Adam Gase has done running the New York Jets?
The job that Adam Gase has done.
That's to tell you how bad that is. Because my man stopped me. He stopped me when I was talking earlier to bring up how upset he was about these nipples. He stopped me. And he still said Gase was worse. You are a long-standing
Oh,
Jets fan. Yeah, you're a long-standing Jets fan, a long-suffering Jets fan.
Yes.
How the hell does this man still have a job?
Well,
they don't
I think
win.
in the middle of the year, the GM said that Adam Gase is the guy that's going to guess where you want to go. And if he meant 0-16, now it makes sense. Because if you think about it, every team in recent memory, every team that fires their coach, they get some juice and they win some games. Jacksonville clearly doesn't want to win any games either. They bench Minshew, so you got to go 0-16 to get the first pick.
They at least fire the GM to show that they want to do something in Jacksonville. I get what you're saying though, because they'll get juice and they'll win 1 or 2 games, and then
here comes the fucking cat.
All of a sudden, you don't have Trevor Lawrence in your backfield for 10 years now. So I get what you're saying. They don't want to win. He is the worst coach in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, I can't.
He's a fucking joke.
Like he's worse. He's Bobby Petrino bad. Is he worse than Rich Kotite? That's the question.
Well, Rich Kotite went 1-15, so we're gonna find out.
There you go.
Is he worse than Dave Campo?
I don't even remember who Dave Campo is. I know everything about football.
Dave Campo was the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys before Parcells went back. Or right after Parcells. But Dave Campo, a little fat, chubby dude with gray hair. He had a wide face. If you saw him, I'll show you a picture. You'd be like, yo, I'll put it up in post. You'd be like, yo, that's fucking Dave Campo. Shitty fucking coach, man. He was on the Cowboys. He was there when Quincy Carter was their quarterback.
How about Tony Sperano? Quincy Carter made the playoffs.
Somebody in the NFC East is going to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Drink your bourbon, kids.
not just making the playoff.
Drink it all.
Yeah, but back to Gase, though. Real talk. All right, I feel you that he hasn't lost his job because they don't want to win. That they're in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
They don't want to take the chance of some, coach that the players actually like that they'll go out there and fight for. They know that the locker room hates Adam Gase. They're on a trajectory to lose every game, get the number 1 pick. Why rock the boat?
So you're saying he's getting fired the day the season ends?
Black Monday, son.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely. The minute the games are over on that last Sunday, he's fired.
Yeah, it's week 17 at New England.
And at this point, why should any of the players listen to anything he says right now? Because we all know he's going to get fired. Everybody in that locker room knows he's going to get fired.
Oh, yeah.
And whatever he said so far hasn't worked. That's why he's going to get fired. So it's nothing that man's done in New York is correct.
Can I make a prediction for the Jets coach?
Okay.
He's standing on the sideline for the Patriots. Bill Belichick's son, the one with the mullet, Steve Belichick, will be the next Jets head coach.
Steve Belichick.
It was destined. It was meant to be.
The Jets will finally get their Belichick.
He's got a mullet. Joel dropped the picture in post. Steve Belichick.
Fantastic.
Steve Belichick with the mullet. I need to see it.
Now, you ever watch a show called Schitt's Creek?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah,
Schitt's loves it.
Creek. Yo, it's hilarious. There's a dude on there. It's the same dude from
that's not a dude.
No, not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one who was out. Grab my little hand. That
Yeah.
guy.
How the hell is
Chris Elliott?
His name?
Yeah, Chris Elliott.
Chris Elliott is the man.
He looks like an older
It's
version
my strong hand
of Steve Belichick. In the stress of coaching and age. And
yes.
Just, the Belichicks are not handsome people. So it just all of those things in a few years, he's going to look exactly like Chris Elliott.
Steve Belichick, next coach of the New York Jets.
Yo, call Vegas right now. Put a couple dollars down on that, because if you're right, you'll be able to produce and finance the show yourself.
Yeah.
No one's thinking about Steve Belichick going to the Jets. Who do they have anyone that they're talking about? Everything in Atlanta is Lincoln Riley. It's Eric Bieniemy, and because he's 4-2 since they took over, but we had not to steal Enrique's thunder, bit of a softer schedule. Raheem Morris is getting a little bit of talk about.
No way. Really?
Have whatever coach they want because they have the number 1 pick. Trevor Lawrence.
No, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean,
Atlanta
solid point.
Atlanta be
solid
5-1.
point. Who wouldn't take over when you know you got that kid coming in?
Yeah, no, people will be lining up for that job. The only thing is the owner is an idiot. So
yeah,
that's what
I was gonna say. I'll have faith in the
You get
pick
franchise
if the
quarterback,
owner
the owner's
lets.
a dumbass.
Yeah, I'll have faith in the pick if the owner lets the GM do his job.
Yeah, that's a plague in New York, man. They're the only good owner that the state of New York, well, I mean, fuck Buffalo. I mean, the city of New York has had in whatever. It's only Steinbrenner. Steinbrenner is the only good owner that New York's had. Dolan sucks.
And even Steinbrenner's kids are pretty good.
Yeah,
exactly. They learned from how to do it the right way, and they didn't fuck it up. Dolan, the worst owner ever. That's the reason the Knicks can't get a fucking free agent. It has nothing to do with the media. It has nothing to do with the fact that the Knicks suck. It's the fact that the owner is an asshole. Nobody wants to fucking deal with him. He pisses off Charles Oakley every opportunity he gets. So nobody wants to go to fucking New York. But I will tell you, my Knicks are on the way back. We're not good yet. We're not good yet, but we're on the way back. We're the youngest team in the NBA. We haven't been the youngest team in the NBA since 1989 when Rick Pitino was the coach, and it was a young Patrick Ewing and a young Mark Jackson. But the youngest team in the and I've been saying it for fucking 3 months, even though we had a break. Who did I want the Knicks to get?
Obi Toppin.
Obi-Wan Toppin. Exactly. The most NBA-ready player in this draft here. James Wiseman's going to be the best player in the draft.
Space Jesus.
But the most NBA-ready player is Obi Toppin. He's a little bit older. He's 22 years old. He's already got his man muscles. He's from Brooklyn. He cried when the Knicks drafted him, and he cried.
This is a
happy,
Brooklyn accent.
The Knicks are at the very least going to be entertaining. They snubbed my man RJ last year for the all-rookie team. He said that he fucking had it burning in his soul all offseason. When he was tired and he wouldn't want to put up another 100 jump shots, he would think about how they snubbed him from the team. We got Obi on there. We just have point guard, so we're a year away.
This is the turning point. This is like where you have RJ, you have Obi, you have Mitchell Robinson, got some nice young pieces. This is the turning point where those guys have to mesh and gel, and then you have to find a superstar. Because none of those three guys are going to be the star. It's going to be somebody else that comes later.
You hit it on the head, though. They got to gel and they got to come together. That's the other thing the Knicks have. This is the first thing the Knicks have had in a long ass time. An actual professional coach. Where fucking Tibbs was what he's doing. They stuck us with what the fuck was his name? The dude on the Lakers, left-handed Fisher.
Derek Fisher.
They stuck us with Hornacek. They stuck us with fucking with
Jeff Hornacek.
Fizdale. Oh my God, Fizdale.
You guys were excited about Fizdale when you first got him.
Yeah, we got sold a bill of goods.
I said he came from Miami, so he's no good.
We figured, all right. Here's the thing: if he got, because Fizdale looks like some sort of creature. I don't know what it looks like.
He does.
But his wife's hot as hell. So we figured if he was
shout out to Fizdale's wife, hit me up.
Yeah, fuck Fizdale. Shout out to the wife. So we figured he was able to snag her. Nigga, I'd be able to get KD to New York, but no, that didn't work out. So Fizdale will never have another starting head coaching job in the NBA. He pissed off the Memphis Grizzlies organization. They fired him after a season and like 8 games into the next one. And then he got fired with the Knicks, and none of the players had his back after he was gone. So Fizdale kick rocks.
Since we're talking about picks and predictions and stuff, let's talk about it. I want to put my name in the hat for any NFL team that needs a young GM type. You need a scout. You need somebody in your personnel department to figure out who to pick, where to go for the NFL draft. Come talk to Brian Getz, a.k.a. the Digital Wookie. Let's talk about how on this show, before the draft, before they made the picks and people ended up where they ended up, I was beating on the table that the Dolphins should take Justin Herbert over Tua. And now look at Justin Herbert, the clear cut, especially with Burrow gone now, clear cut NFL Rookie of the Year will be Justin Herbert.
Didn't he get hurt, though?
No, he's playing.
No, Burrow got hurt. Burrow got hurt.
No.
But Justin Herbert is balling. Justin Herbert is balling. And I will take my time to go back through the shows and pull out the time slots where I talked about Justin Herbert. I talked about how he went there as a walk-on just because he loved Oregon and they didn't give him a dime to go there. And he just went there and was like, all right, I'm going to play football here, and ended up being their starter.
Who the hell's like, I love Oregon and I want to go there?
Somebody from there.
He grew up there and he loves Oregon.
He grew up in Oregon.
Hold on.
That's like saying I want to go to Rutgers.
They got the cool Nike stuff.
That's fucking ballsy just to be like, I'm going to go there and be the starting quarterback. And they didn't even want to recruit him.
But I've known
not even like a preferred walk-on status. I'm doing a quick humble brag. I'm going to pat myself on the back.
No, I'll back you up on that. You were singing Herbert's praises early.
even Antoine Winfield, the safety from Minnesota. I'll go back and find it on one of the shows we did. I said, I really like this safety from Minnesota. If it wasn't for Isaiah Simmons, who everybody knew about Isaiah Simmons, Winfield would be the defensive rookie of the year because he's balling. So if somebody needs a GM, come find me.
Come, just shout out and say who you want to work for. Mike Mayock, come find him. That's who he wants to work for. Yeah, I
would love to work for Mayock. Come get me. Even the NBA draft, which just happened. I watched one game in the middle of the season, in the middle of the afternoon, and text Joel and said, "Who's this kid Edwards on Georgia?" Because he's nasty, and he ended up being the number 1 pick.
We'll talk about Edwards in a second here. And Joe Smith was also a number 1 pick. So was Kwame Brown. But anyway,
and so was Anthony Bennett.
Are you guys going to back me up? Because I'm going to go back and find clips.
No, we will certainly talk about it. You know, I got my feelings about Edwards. We'll talk about him in a second. But there's 2 things here.
The NBA scouts thought he was the number 1 pick. So
the campus of Oregon is supposed to be like magical. Everyone that's I've met 3 people that's actually been there, not athletes, just like walking around to visit. And they said it's fucking. First of all, it's another Nike campus. So you are going to have the dopest uniforms of anywhere. And these kids think about that shit now, which is why you have 3 number 5s on a team and 6 number 8s or whatever. All that shit with your jersey and your number and all that fucking counts. So I can understand why somebody would want to go to Oregon. Fun offense to play in.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's legal.
They got like 6 different uniforms. They got the silver helmets. They got the matte black helmets.
How much Nike gear does he have that hasn't even been fucking released?
That shit ain't legal when you're playing sports.
It's a recruiting tool. Everything is legal in Oregon.
Hell yeah.
Everything's legal in Oregon.
Legal when you're playing sports.
The coaches don't say that. But when they have you go to dinner with the players be like, check this, man. Hey, this spot right here has the bomb-ass hamburgers. Yo, and everything's legal. So, whatever you want, just let me know. But over here, I have milkshakes and shit. That shit is how. But really, everything is fucking legal. Whatever you want. Hell yeah, it's a damn fucking. That is 100% a recruiting tool. You think Ryan Leaf wouldn't have gone to fucking Oregon if he was if he had any eligibility left right now? Of course, man.
He should have went to Oregon and got something to chill the fuck out. But what we're talking about is the draft selection and prediction by me. Not what brings recruits to Oregon.
Now, we will give you credit on the.
There were many people that said he's not accurate. There were some people that talked about the past history of Oregon quarterbacks. But I kept saying Herbert is nasty. Dolphins should take Herbert over Tua. Look at Tua. He played like 2 games. They already benched him.
They benched him.
Hold on. He was a healthy scratch last week?
Man. He got benched. benched.
They said Fitzpatrick.
They said Fitzpatrick gives us a better chance to win the game, and the coach wants to win games. Yeah, Flores wants to win. So he said, "Hey, Tua, you're the future, but sit over there."
Herbert fell into a good situation, though. I mean, he's got
Keenan
Allen doesn't get credit, but Keenan Allen's nasty.
He's nasty.
They got Mike Williams. They got Eckler.
Eckler just came back.
Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry's nasty.
They have a pretty decent squad.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
But a good squad. But you're 100% right.
But Herbert's setting records that no NFL rookie quarterback has ever set. They showed one. I hope we can go back and find it to show the graphic. But when they were playing the Saints on like Monday night or Sunday night, they showed some shit that he did in like the first 5 or 6 games of an NFL rookie quarterback that no one has ever done in NFL history. So it's not just the situation he fell in. He's nasty.
Balling. He's taking care of the situation.
And I said it before the draft. So come get me.
Now, the Edwards. Yes, he went first. There a lot of people. The same reason that Tyrus Thomas went 4th overall. This is the reason that Edwards went first. Because he's the most dynamic athlete as far as run, jump, and fucking, agility.
This bourbon tastes delicious.
But as far as knowing how to actually fucking play basketball, there are 5 or 6 guys in this draft better than him.
Yeah. So if Gets proclaimed he's number 1, and I'll proclaim right now he's going to be considered a bust for number 1.
Oh well, we'll see.
If you don't love the game,
we'll see.
All right,
this guy doesn't love the game.
What I'm saying is, I saw one random game on a Saturday afternoon and picked out one dude and was like, "Who's that guy?" And he ended up being the number 1 pick.
Flashes of brilliance is what he got drafted for. Sage, Fill me
And that's
out
what
on
I
this,
see.
right?
That's what my mind sees.
So you're riding on the bus to a game. Well, not even a bus, but you're old, yes, it would have been a bus. So you're riding on a bus to a game, right? And your teammate that's sitting next to you, who you have seen in practice, is a ridiculous athlete, right? 5'2" player, cannon for an arm, the whole nine. But he looks at you and he's like, man, I'd rather write poetry. I don't really like baseball. Do you want that dude in the lineup next to you? Because at some point he's gonna be like, fuck it. And he's done. He's what's gonna end up. What's the running back that was on the Pittsburgh Steelers that's actually a poet now?
He's a
eyes.
Are you talking about Mendenhall that writes ballers?
Exactly.
Yeah, Rashard Mendenhall.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you
the guy that writes the series Ballers. Is that what you're talking about?
And he found his passion, and it wasn't football. He was good at football. He didn't love it. And what did he do? In the middle of his prime, we still had years to play football. He's like, fuck it. And that's what Edwards is going to do. Edwards is going to have a short career in the NBA. He's going to have a nice highlight package where every once in a while something will get in his head or he'll get pissed and dunk on somebody or something. But half the time he's going to be trailing behind on defense or somebody's going to fucking, he's going to give half effort to set up a pick or to go after a rebound. You can't play at that level and not love it because everybody on the court now is a sick athlete. It's not just you that's the top tier 5-star athlete and everybody else is 3.5 or 4. Everybody on the NBA court's a number 1 5-star athlete.
I mean, you can keep hating on the kid, and I agree with you that you do have to have passion and you do have to have love for the game.
That's why
to
I
excel at that level.
That's all I'm saying.
But he still went number 1.
He did go number 1. So
so did Anthony Bennett.
And well,
that was a terrible draft, and there was no one else in that draft.
He's
that was
Wiggins. Good. That's who Edwards is. Edwards is Wiggins, supreme athlete who doesn't love the game that he plays.
Yeah.
Who everything.
Wiggins was like 17 years old when he got in the league, right? And they sent him to Minnesota. Like if I sent you to Siberia and was like, here, go
Wiggins
work
was not
here.
17.
Wiggins played a year at Kansas. Wiggins
Yeah.
was not 17.
He was not 17.
Yeah. He was young as fuck though.
But how old do you think Edwards is? He's like 6 months old. He's like 6 months younger than Edwards. You're talking like, all right, Obi Toppin's 22. If you want to compare ages,
that's older
with Wiggins. That's a difference. But you're like, yo.
Everybody that starts at Dayton is 22.
18 and born in February. My man was 18 but born in September.
Everybody that starts at Dayton is a 5th-year senior. It's like this Goldwire guy at Duke that's been there for 7 years. Stop hating on Edwards. Edwards is nasty.
Everybody at Duke gets 8 years of eligibility.
Let's be honest. If the Knicks got Edwards, you would be going nuts right now.
I would not.
You would be like, yo,
no way.
This fucking guy is Dwayne Wade.
No
He's
way.
nasty.
No way. No way. Absolutely not.
And the same way you said go back and check it on tape, I said it on here.
We both have said it. Yep.
I don't want Edwards. I've watched.
Yeah, because you weren't going to get Edwards because he was the number 1 pick.
No, because
number 1.
If I had the chance to draft, Wiseman would have went first for me 100 out of 100 times.
Yeah, and I said LaMelo.
At 7 foot, and the other guy doesn't love the fucking game.
Yep, I agree.
So he rolls his ankle, right? He rolls his ankle on a Tuesday. You got a game on Wednesday. You got to win.
All this is irrelevant. All I wanted to say is I spotted the kid on a Saturday afternoon, saw him for 1 game,
but
said, "Who's that?" And he ended up being the number 1 pick in the draft. That's all I wanted to say. All this other shit is irrelevant.
And what we're telling you now is in 6 months, you're going to be like,
I'll bet either one of you that Edwards is better than R.J. Barrett 5 years from now. Whatever amount you want to bet.
Aren't you guys just pretty much describing every millennial out there right now?
Ooh, damn.
Like, that's basically the athlete
today. Yeah, no, but they're most of them are still smart enough to not actually say it. He said it in an interview and it was ESPN. I don't really love the game.
Just because it's smart.
He wanted to play football. He loves football.
Yeah, actually. He wanted to play football. He just his body and skill set and everything
and I don't know what moron told him like a fucking 6'5", 6'6" receiver wasn't going to make it to the NFL. Like if he played football, he would be sick. And he was at Georgia.
He has no hands.
He was at Georgia. So how is Kirby Smart not fucking get this kid on the fucking field?
But then he's also a Southern boy. His mother might have told him you ain't playing football.
No, probably.
That's probably what it is. Or if he was playing receiver and just has 0 hands.
Yeah.
How do you play basketball and have no hands when you're jumping through the air, catching alley oops, and dunking the ball? How do you have no hands?
Because you're scared of contact.
Hit
Yeah.
the ball is coming down.
You're not worried about getting hit. Exactly.
It's a completely different mindset going
Absolutely.
up for a rebound. Well, you know, if they hit you, you're getting a foul. Whereas in football, they're supposed to hit you. It's completely different. LeBron
100%.
James wasn't taking hits.
Hell no.
Blast across the middle. His body's big enough to take it, but he ain't taking them fucking hits going across the middle.
LeBron James played football in high school.
No, again. He was 8 times bigger than everybody else in high school.
Yeah.
He gets to the leagues, he's slightly larger.
How many excuses are you going to make up? Everything I say, it's just an excuse.
I agree with you completely
more money
on
in the
Herbert.
NBA.
The one thing I'm not agreeing with you on is I don't think that your homeboy
See that?
is good.
What Sage just said, you make more money in the NBA. It's a guaranteed contract. That's an actual viewpoint. But you saying, oh, he doesn't love the game. He's going to be writing poetry in 5 years.
Just because they follow the money doesn't mean they're fucking soft.
No, he literally said, I don't
anybody
love the game of basketball. He literally said that. He said, I'm just good at it. But I don't love the game of basketball.
Listen, people pick sports and play sports that is not their number one sport. Because
we're agreeing with that, but
he
most of the time you still like it a little bit.
I'm going to get paid $40 million the first year I play basketball, where I got to toil in the NFL for 4 years, probably get cut and make what, 15?
But he by his own admission, he'd be happier doing that. That he would be happier being Julio Jones than he is, being a chance of being, whatever kind of star he may be in the NBA. He wanted to be in the NFL. So it's hard.
Carmelo Anthony made more money than Tom Brady could ever dream of in the NFL.
Carmelo Anthony loves basketball.
Yeah.
You're not listening. In basketball, you make more money for a marginal player than the best NFL player ever.
But Carmelo's made 2 max contracts. That's not a marginal player.
If you grow up dirt poor, right? And his first contracts, they give him like $20 million. That's more money he ever dreamed he's going to have. Jamarcus Russell hasn't played in years. He's not broke because he had a big-ass contract to come out.
You're not sure how the question was asked. Maybe he does love football more than basketball. But the thing is how many of us are really doing what we wanted to do in life? Like, you do it. It doesn't mean suck at the job. It doesn't mean he's going to be a basketball player and suck.
But
it's just, listen, I'd rather be a football player,
that's
but I'm
not
not.
a valid point, though, Sage, about who's doing everything they want to do. This guy's a supreme athlete. He was the first pick in the NBA draft. There are very few things, if any, that he's tried that he hasn't been able to do. So it's not a correlation. He's already like an alien. He's 6'6" with a 46-inch vertical leap. He's an alien. All right. So it's actually shocking that they didn't try to at least play him on football. He's probably really bad at football. That's why.
Perfect point is maybe all that CTE shit pushed him to play basketball. Maybe his mother was like, "No, you're not playing football. I'm not signing that. You're not getting cleats. You're not getting pads. You're gonna go play basketball."
And you know what that happened? You know what that?
We don't know what happened.
So no, but if that's the situation where his mother's like, "Yo, you're not playing no football. You're playing basketball. You're doing as I say." You get a Todd Marinovich situation where the guy ends up hating the sport and fucking quits. Marinovich was the robo quarterback. His father said you were going to play fucking quarterback. You're not doing anything else playing quarterback.
What's your favorite sport?
Me?
Basketball.
Okay,
what's your least favorite sport? Hockey. Now, let me just say, if hockey was about to draft you number 1 because you were so good at it, but basketball, you wouldn't get drafted till like the fucking 10th round, would you choose basketball over hockey?
No, I'll go hockey.
Where you could be the baddest motherfucking hockey player in the world, but at basketball, you'd probably be like the 9th man on the bench. You would choose basketball.
Now listen, you're going to go the route that he went, 100%, because that's going to maximize his money. But what I'm saying is, he's not going to get to where you think he's going to be to justify you being the first pick in the draft. Allen Iverson, the reason we have shooting sleeves on all these players are wearing shooting sleeves now because Allen Iverson's elbow used to kill him so much after games that he almost couldn't play the next game. So they gave him that sleeve so he could play the next game. If you don't love the game, that elbow, you're going to be sitting out. You're not playing through it.
Real good point, because you know what Allen Iverson's favorite sport was?
Football. But Allen Iverson was also a warrior who
Now
loved
can we move
basketball
on?
too.
Can we move on to another
No,
topic?
absolutely
many
not.
people-
Because you're trying to put that like
How
you put a
many people
period
live
on the
up to that
sentence.
number one
Allen
draft?
Iverson loved basketball. You're gonna look me in the face and tell me Allen Iverson didn't love basketball?
But you're saying this kid's going to be garbage because
I
his
didn't
favorite
say-
sport was
I didn't
football.
say no. I did not. I did not say
Never
that.
said
I
that.
did.
No,
I
did
never
not say
said that.
Allen Iverson
yes,
is a breed.
yes, football.
Allen Iverson.
Hold on one second, see, because words were put in my mouth. I never said that he wasn't going to be in a star in the NBA.
You said he's going to be a bust.
Shut the fuck up and let me get my point out. Look, I said that shit that he doesn't love the sport. Never once did I say, yo, football's his number one sport, so he's not going to be. I don't give a fuck if he loved NASCAR. He's playing basketball because he's 6'6", he can jump through the roof. He doesn't like to do it. He's not going to be the star that he's going to be. Jermaine Wiggins. That's his roof. That's his fucking ceiling. If he gets to Wiggins, I'll be shocked. He's gonna be out of the league in 5 years.
I don't even think Wiggins. I don't think Wiggins' first name is Jermaine.
Whatever fucking name Wiggins it is. What is his first name?
And if I'm not mistaken, I actually think Wiggins was a better shooter in Kansas than this dude was.
Whatever fuck Wiggins it is.
He also lacks a lot of skill.
Listen, man.
No, but in a serious note, what skill do you see in this guy? He's a freakish athlete. He was a very poor shooter in college. I don't see it getting much better because he was also shooting a lot of his shots like right in the tiptoe of the three.
He drives to the basket like a madman and he dunks on anybody that gets in front of him. And he does shoot threes because the game I saw, he hit like 6 or 7.
Everybody has
but everybody can have one good game, Gets.
Points in an NBA
you have to watch a whole.
Because
all right,
Willie Burton.
I mean, again, you guys can say whatever you want to say. The NBA scouts thought enough to make him the number 1 pick in the NBA draft.
They've missed before.
Yeah,
and they missed again. And they missed again this time.
Yes.
So, all right, we'll see. We'll see.
He was not the knockout first pick. And I tell you who got knocked out this last weekend. We are switching now. Nate Robinson got knocked the fuck out. So we're going from knocking out. We're talking basketball. Nate Robinson. Go ahead.
I want to preface this by saying I'm a Nate Robinson fan. I've always liked Nate Robinson. I've always told you guys that I liked him. A lot of heart for a little man. He won the dunk contest 3 times. I was actually at a game in Miami where he was going back and forth with Dwayne Wade, shooting threes. You know, it was back and forth, one possession to the next possession. Him and Wade, one of the best shooting guards ever. And he was playing on the Knicks, who were obviously garbage. So it was only Nate Robinson doing his thing. So I've always had a lot of respect for Nate, but God damn, he got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, he did.
Let me ask you a question about
and I went into that fight thinking like, yo, Nate's a superior athlete. He's one of the best athletes on the planet. He'll be able to figure this out, and he'll be able to, like, you know, have some type of training to keep this guy away from him, hit him with a couple shots, and he'll end up winning. This is a YouTube guy, a dude that does bullshit podcasts on YouTube, not unlike us, although our podcast is better. But this guy just decided that he wanted to be a boxer, so he started calling out rappers and going there and boxing with them.
You know, he's been
this
training
is not
for 2 years, though, right?
He's not a trained boxer. He's not like a guy who fought Golden Gloves all the way up or anything. This is just some dude that decided, like, I want to be a boxer. So he started doing some training, and he killed Nate Robinson. I literally thought Nate Robinson was going to die. Sage could tell you the reaction. He was in the house with me. I was like, oh, my God. Because he got knocked down twice in that round, and then he started doing like the zombie defense, just walking forward with his arms out a little bit, and then boom, and he was laying there like Apollo Creed.
Now, can we talk about why are NBA players such bad fighters?
Well, I'm not gonna say all NBA players are bad fighters.
Yeah,
I
I wouldn't
Steven
go that far.
Jackson would have fared a little better in the ring.
Yeah, I think Ron Artest, Steven Jackson.
Charles Oakley was probably a good fighter too. I wouldn't want to mess with him.
Larry Johnson fought Golden Gloves.
Yeah, Barkley could fight.
Yeah.
Never a fight on like you see it on the court. It always looks terrible.
But I do actually have a theory.
That looked awful.
I got a theory on that though, Sage.
Well, that was just Shaq swinging and missing.
They all do.
No,
they all do.
Shaq would kill somebody. But here's Sage. I got a theory on that, and I watched a documentary on Isaiah Thomas one time. Now Isaiah Thomas, we all know he's a little soft, whatever the way he talks shit. But he grew up in like the worst neighborhood in Chicago. Like, you know, he was in
South
the heart
side.
of Chirac. So they knew when by like 9, 10 years old that he was nasty on the court and had a chance to actually like get out of the ghetto. So all the gangsters would protect him. So he never threw hands coming up, ever. They're like, yo, leave him alone. That's the one that's got, he balls. Leave him. All he does is ball.
Would he kiss the dude before the guy got his ass whipped by his friends?
Only Magic. Only when Magic was there. Only when Magic was there. The other thing is too, right? I'm pretty sure LeBron James never threw hands. Maverick Carter and all the other guys.
They're the ones who fought for him. For
anybody
sure.
had beef with LeBron, those dudes took care of it. So they never had to throw hands. And if you never have to do anything, probably you're not going to be any good at it. Exactly.
I guess that's a pretty good theory because they all look awful whenever they throw punches.
All of them. You'll hear them all the time. Those guys that are from the deep, like ghetto. Most of them, unless they like fighting. Unless they like fighting, like Zach Thomas.
We always talk in the program about Zach Randolph.
Zach Randolph.
Zebo. Yeah, Zebo. We always talk about Zach Randolph on the program. We've talked about
Steven Jackson.
What's the red bone that I said he drove to like his girlfriend's?
Oh, Matt Barnes.
Oh,
Matt Barnes.
Yo,
Matt Barnes is no joke. Matt Barnes is no joke.
He will square up. He will square up, dude.
Yo, they have
Matt Barnes. Please come on the program. I want to discuss your pugilistic skills.
They have
drove 30 miles just to whip someone's ass.
Yeah, he was some dude was talking shit to him over the text. He was like, "I'll come see you right now," and drove 30 miles to the dude's house to beat his ass.
Yep.
He beat Derek Fisher's ass.
Derek Fisher, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Punk ass Derek Fisher.
But Nate Robinson needs to retire from fighting for good.
People are begging for a rematch.
No. You don't have a rematch after something like that.
You don't come back from that. You retire right away.
The Eagles need cornerbacks. So Nate Robinson, if you're looking for work, come to Philly and walk on.
You might have CTE right now. Though.
Hop on the practice squad.
So perfect.
Jake Paul.
They were still, dude. The way he got hit and the way he fell really did look like Apollo Creed against Drago. I really thought he was dead. When they brought Roy Jones and Tyson into the ring, Nate was still laying there on the ground on the canvas.
The memes are glorious. The memes are absolutely glorious. Jake Paul called out Conor McGregor.
Please make that happen. Please get this fool in the cage with Conor McGregor.
They're gonna have to come up with more bread to get McGregor going though, because they only paid Nate $600K. They paid Nate and both of them got $600K. That's not gonna get McGregor out of his seat.
I thought they got $600. I didn't know $600K. I thought they made more off the.
Yeah, that was a typo. But what I think they're trying to do is, because I was watching the post-game interviews and Tyson kept pointing to like the logo behind him. It said Mike Tyson's Legends League. So I think that's how they got Tyson to come back, is they told him like, we're going to make this your boxing promotion. Because those are the dudes those are the guys that make the real money, are the guys that own the promotion and run the promotion. So they probably told Mike like, yo, you come back, fight a couple fights, and we'll give you the league. We'll let you make all the money. We'll just do all the shit for you, and you can be like the bullshit promoter. Dana White came out and had a ridiculous press conference where he was like, I don't do the old guy thing. He's like, I'm into finding the baddest, dudes in the world that are in their young 20s, and they want to fight and brawl and go in there and figure out who the baddest motherfucker in the world is. And that's why I love Dana White.
That the thing with Tyson, it's not just boxing. He was on Rogan, and he's working with a company that's actually trying to reverse the aging process. So he's taking all kinds of supplements, and he's on a special diet and all kind of shit.
Supplements,
like that. And he
a lot of supplements.
Not just boxing. He wants like a Legends basketball league, Legends baseball. He wants
They already tried that. They already tried the fucking big three.
The big three.
Yeah, that works for nostalgia for a couple of games. You'll watch just to see the old guys up there. You'll laugh that Catino Mobley's still playing basketball. And he's got gray dreadlocks, and you'll laugh that they're fucking calling Al Harrington buckets. But after that, you'll never go back to watch that again. Would you watch? All right. So the Nate thing aside,
you know how bad it was.
Would you hold on a second? Would you watch a second Roy Jones Mike Tyson
No.
fight?
No, I didn't even watch the first one. I got the free stream from my boy, and that's the only reason I watched it. You know how bad the Tyson Jones fight was? Snoop Dogg's commentary was the best part of the whole production, and he was just cracking on them. He was like, yo, this looks like two of my uncles fighting at a barbecue, and just kept like cracking jokes and shit. And that was the best part of the whole production. The fact that the Jake Paul Nate Robinson fight is getting all this pub shows you how bad the Tyson fight was.
When he knocked down Nate, I think it was the second time, Snoop said, "Oh, he from the hood. He good. He gonna get up."
When Roy Jones was out of breath in the corner, Snoop was like, "Come on, Unc, you got this."
Come on, yo, he's like 10, it feels like he's at least 10 years older than Roy too. But
and let me tell you, you guys know I love some old school hip hop. The hip hop, the different rappers in between each fight was horrible. I don't even know who those other guys were. They had Snoop Dogg at the end. He rapped before the Roy Jones Tyson fight, and even that was terrible.
They should have had Roy Jones.
Snoop looks like an old black grandma.
If they were actually in the fight, and Roy was like, "Yo, I must have forgot," and was throwing hands.
That's what. Yo, I swear to God, that's what I was hoping for. I was like, when Roy Jones comes out, he has to come out to "Y'all must have forgot," and Tyson should have came out to the Cannabis song.
What they needed to do is
eat MCs for breakfast, lunch, dinner. How do you not come out to that song?
We're gonna fix this shit right now. So they each get a microphone on one side, right? And you can't punch to that side. So you can only punch with one hand, right? So you can punch with your dominant hand and the thing on the other side. And they have to continue to rap. For every 10 seconds you don't rap, you lose a point for the round. Yo, we just fixed this old school shit. Let's do this.
It was so bad that
to sing in there.
Yo, it was so bad that Sage came home from work and I was like, yo, I got the Tyson Jones fight. You want the link? And he was like, nah. No. Like not even didn't even consider it. He was like, no.
2-minute rounds, 8 2-minute rounds.
It was terrible. They just leaned on each other, and then Roy looked like he was gonna have a heart attack in the corner. As someone who's had a heart attack, I know what that looks like, and Roy looked like he was about to have one between every round.
Some of that was fear too. You an old Tyson still looks like he can hurt you. So
I might watch that fight if he were to fight Holyfield.
Somebody's gonna die.
Holyfield would wreck him.
I think Holyfield would destroy him too.
100%. Somebody would die in that ring. Somebody's gonna catch a right hand in that ring. That old brain's gonna rattle around in there for a second, and he's gonna fucking fall over.
Yo, man, if you bite my ear off, I'm never stepping in the ring with you ever again. Period.
Fair enough. Yo, this whole shit started. Yo, Tyson doesn't. He's not. We already know the screw loose up here.
He has a tattoo on his face.
Yeah, this whole shit started because his wife called him fat. He was chilling, man. He
lost 100 pounds, just like Big Pun.
He was chilling. He chiefed on ganja. He ate vegan food, and he did his podcast. That was it. The wife called him fat. Alive? What's up?
Big Pun is still alive?
No, Big Pun died right after he lost 100 pounds, and Tyson just lost 100 pounds.
But Tyson lost it running on. He said he went from running on a treadmill 20 minutes to start out, and then 6 weeks later he was doing 2 hours because his brain this bitch called me fat. This bitch called me fat.
He got the good. He got the good supplements then.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Yo, 100%. Then so those people got in contact with him. He's on all those supplements and shit. Rogan said, "All right, so I love Joe Rogan. So a couple of years ago, he had Tyson on a couple of years ago, and Tyson was real mellow. Telling me, Joe, you come on my podcast.
I can't do it. It activates my ego.
Exactly.
He said he can't run on a treadmill. He goes, it activates my ego.
He didn't want to wake that shit up. Then the wife called him fat. It woke it up, and now he's in the boxing Roy Jones and hugging on people. If he fights Holyfield, he don't hate Roy Jones. If he fights Holyfield ain't coming out of that ring, without being more fucked up than he is right now.
Holyfield will still beat him.
Yeah.
No.
As a true boxing fan, Holyfield will still beat him.
Not with the supplements Mike is on.
There's a reason he got his ear.
Tell me what supplements Evander is on.
There's a reason Holyfield got his ear bit off, and it's because he was beating Mike Tyson's ass for the second time. That wasn't the first time. That wasn't the first time. That was the second time, boxing fans.
Evander don't got that Balco 2020, though. We don't know what Mike got.
Have you seen Evander's kid? Evander is a beast.
Evander is, they are all old. Mike just looks a little less old because of the supplements that he was on. So unless Evander is getting that premium juice that Mike is on, Evander ain't coming out of that ring.
But even with the juice, he didn't knock Roy Jones out. So he ain't gonna fuck with Holyfield.
That kind of thing was bullshit. They had a no knockout rule. the only way that fight was.
I'm sure they had a no ear biting rule against Evander Holyfield, and he didn't follow that rule.
The only way that fight with Tyson and Roy Jones was going to get entertaining is if some Thunder Lips action happened, and one of them was snapped, and the gloves got thrown into the crowd, and they just went at it in the middle of the ring. Then it would have been entertaining. But they had a list of fucking rules this long.
Hey, you're a good guy, huh?
Yeah. Nyasam nyat.
I fight for me.
That's it, Jake Paul. Anyway.
Since you just said that, it just reminded me. The other day, I watched Creed 2, the second one where he fights Drago's son. Terrible movie.
I didn't watch it. I saw the first.
The first Creed was at least decent. It was like him and Rocky coming together. Stallone had a really good story, and Stallone was actually really good in the first Creed movie. Second Creed, terrible.
Is it worse than the Tommy Morrison Rocky?
There's not too many things on earth worse than that Tommy Morrison Rocky. That movie broke my heart. If Adam Gase was like the director of the Tommy Morrison Rocky, then that's what Creed 2 is.
Yeah,
worse.
And I'm a big fan of Michael B. Jordan.
Is Teen Wolf 2, TOO, worse than Adam Gase?
Teen Wolf 2, where Bateman was the boxer? That was awful. That was awful.
Bateman.
Still not as bad as Adam Gase as a head coach.
Wow.
John Carter, the movie that got an exec fired from Disney. Worse than Adam Gase?
Still no.
I actually don't think so. There was an incredible looking female in the John Carter movie that gives it watchability. There's nothing that would make me watch the Jets game except for my friendship with my man, Mr. Montalvo here.
or if you had Robbie Anderson on your team last year. That was the only reason.
Robbie.
I picked up what's this guy's name? LaMichael James, who's the running back for the Jets.
Oh, LaMichael P. Ryan.
LaMichael P. Ryan. I picked him up out of necessity for like 3-4 games, and I still couldn't watch the game. I was like, this team sucks.
You have Oregon on the head in your brain still. Michael James was on Oregon a few years ago.
Yeah.
P. Ryan, his brother was better than him, and he's not in the league anymore. At least
is that his brother, Samaje P. Ryan from Oklahoma?
Sure. Well, they both got fucked up first names, and their last name is P. Ryan. So
there's not too many P. Ryans out there.
There's not too many P. Ryans around.
Except for playoff P on the Clippers.
Oh God,
they're trying to get rid of him too.
Oh God,
yo, they can't even trade him.
In fact, we're about to wrap up in a minute here. We've been going for an hour, but your boy, playoff P, worse than Adam Gase in the playoffs.
He sucks.
Yeah, quite possibly.
They're trying to move him. They're trying to get him out of there, but nobody wants him.
I mean, does Kawhi have a say in that? Because Kawhi was the guy who wanted him there. Now, 1 year later, you're already saying nah.
No, yeah. They're saying Kawhi wants him out of there.
Kawhi wants him out.
And Kawhi wouldn't even come to the Clippers unless he came with him.
He said, get the fuck out of here. Supposedly there's a couple guys, I don't know right now, but I've read articles. There's a couple guys who wouldn't go to the Clippers because they knew Paul George was going there.
But sometimes, people from afar, when you're just seeing them, you're not around them every day. You see them and you think they're a lot better than they actually are, like how Getz thinks Edwards is good. So when you see them, when you get to see them, every day in practice, in and out, and you actually see how, if they actually do love the game and stuff, then, that's when you figure out, hey, playoff P is not the guy for me to be on my team. So I understand he wanted him there last year, but he had a whole year with a guy, what did he shoot, like 12% in the first round of the playoffs?
I mean, I don't know. As bad as playoff P played, Kawhi needs to look at himself in the mirror, too. Just saying.
Kawhi's got 2 rings.
We remember the last time you doubted Kawhi.
Yes. No, we need to send this to him. The last time here, all right, so if anyone's the first time you're tuning in here, my man Enrique Montalvo, a.k.a. Ricky Leaky, he called Kawhi Leonard a system player.
Yes.
The season before, he took Toronto all the way to the pinnacle of the NBA.
By sheer luck and injuries left and right, and the luckiest Game 7 shot of all time. But yeah,
come on, he won the title.
I will add in that the season that you called him the system player, he already had a Finals MVP in his back pocket.
Yeah, but that was for defending LeBron. Everybody knows that. That was the defending LeBron one.
Secondly, that shot, it wasn't Game 7, but the game was tied. If he missed it, they wouldn't have lost. And they did dominate really the rest of the game.
That was Game 7 Philly.
He's talking about the Game 7 shot against the Sixers, and he's correct.
Yeah. That's the
Can
only
we?
team that.
Can we?
the only
I
team
know
that
we were
gave
talking
me-
about wrapping up. Can we talk about NBA a little bit? I need to hear about my
Absolutely.
Sixers here.
We got
We got the new coach.
Go right ahead.
We got the new coach. We got Horford out of there. Sixers are ready to go. We just need to trade Tobias Harris. We got Danny Green as a shooter. We got a couple other shooters. These Sixer fans are going wild about Seth Curry. I even have to tell them it's not Steph Curry, it's his brother. And
although Seth
and
is on the record saying he's the best
keep
shooter
giving
in
me
the
his 3-point shooting percentage. I'm like, yo, the guy like barely hangs on NBA teams. He gets cut. He gets traded around the league. Seth Curry is not the answer. But the Sixers fans love it, so I'm ready. I'm here for it.
You need
well,
the spacing.
I'm going to give you a little bit of hope here, Getz. You know I never want to say anything nice about a Duke Blue Devil. So in my eyes, Seth Curry is still, he only went to Liberty. But anyway, Seth, in the beginning of Seth's career, in the beginning of Seth's NBA career, he was literally getting signed because his last name is Curry. But he's actually played pretty well in Dallas the last couple of years. He's a little bit of a liability on defense because he's light in the ass.
And we signed some like
guard,
Turkish dude that was on the Mavericks that I've never heard of. I can text you guys the dude's name later.
Or is he playing in Europe? Is he a Euro?
No, he was already like in the NBA. He was on the Mavericks, probably at the end of the bench. And all these Sixers fans, you know, I'm in all these groups on Facebook, so all these Sixers fans like send me his 3-point percentage, and they're like, "This guy's a knockdown shooter." I'm like, okay, I've never heard of the dude before ever.
Turkey. That's the best motivation right there. Even if if Edwards was Turkish, he would love the game more, so that he wouldn't have to go back to Turkey.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the Sixers are looking good, but I want to just drop in one more thing.
We need to trade Tobias Harris. He's got a huge contract. He's not really that good. He's not a superstar. He was just kind of the third dude, and like the Sixers only gave him that money to keep him from going elsewhere. And we need to work some type of, the NBA is good at like the triangle trades. You get the 3-4 teams involved. Everybody shuffles somebody around. Get Tobias Harris out of here.
You're gonna have to get him.
He's as movable as Julius Randle. Good luck. He's as movable as Julius Randle. Good luck.
We need Thibault to get more minutes. Thibault is a defensive wizard, and he has a little bit of offense. He can hit the shot every once in a while. I would rather have Thibault.
Drafted a couple of years ago, Zaire Smith, out of Texas Tech.
We just traded him. We just got rid of him. Traded him because he couldn't get out of the G League. But he was another dude that was just a good athlete, good dunker, could run the floor. But Thibault is nasty. Thibault is nasty. His defensive numbers are better than any rookie ever in the NBA.
The Sixers, you're probably front runners. You know that I don't love Milwaukee. Miami was a fluke last year.
Huge fluke.
They played well, though.
They never get it done. No, they certainly played well. The bubble again is going to help, but
Celtics, Kemba Walker is having some knee issues. They just had to give him double shots in both knees. They're saying he's out till at least January.
Yeah. Yeah, but
they got no rest this year.
Little NBA tidbit for you jokers out there.
Well, NBA training camp start tomorrow for everybody.
Yeah, so can we trade Tobias Harris, please? I'm begging. We got Daryl Morey. Yeah, all right, so I'm going to ask you guys this. You guys are more the NBA guys than I am. I didn't like the Doc Rivers pickup, but I'll take it. We got Daryl Morey, who I love, and now they're talking about we're going to do something to get Harden. If you get rid of Tobias Harris and you put Harden on the Sixers with Ben and Embiid, do the Sixers win the title?
Well, first of all, more importantly, Daryl Morey belongs in the GM Hall of Fame if he can pull that off. So that's the first and foremost thing. If you can get rid of Tobias and
he got Harden there. He got Harden to Houston. He's the one that got him.
But Harden was an undervalued asset on the bench in OKC. He wasn't a scoring champion, former MVP, scoring 50, 60 points. It's a completely different player now.
Also, they've already said they're not moving him to Philly without Simmons or Embiid involved. That doesn't help you. You're not winning. Nobody's winning a championship with Harden as your number one guy. Even
if we have Harden, Simmons, and Embiid, I think Harden kind of solves the Ben Simmons not shooting part.
No, well, here's the thing, right? If you do that, for that team to be what you want it to be, Harden's got to be a spot-up shooter, and that's not Harden's game because Simmons have to have the ball in his hand. You can't have so when you had the let's say the trio in OKC. We had KD, you had Russ, and you had a young Harden.
Yep.
You have guys, if Russ is going down the lane, he can kick to either one of them, and they can knock a shot down. They can also reverse that. Although Westbrook's not a great three-point shooter, he's light years better and at least more willing than Simmons is. So you're on a line. The Simmons driving down the lane to kick to either Embiid or to Harden, you're balling then. But when you have Harden going down the lane, Simmons isn't spacing the floor at all, and you're kind of wasting what Harden does if you have him just hanging out in the corner with Harden. It's a weird mix because of Simmons not shooting. So I don't like it. If I was the Sixers, I'd make a more reasonable move and go after an Oladipo. Maybe you get
love Oladipo. I'm on record. I love Oladipo.
You can probably I don't know. You say probably you maybe could get Indiana to bite on a Tobias Harris because he has another 2-3 years left on his deal.
And do the draft picks and get another team involved.
Give him somebody else. You may have to give up a Thibault, maybe.
Get us Oladipo. No giving up Thibault. We keep Thibault.
You love some Thibault.
Love
Thibault.
Thibault.
Danny Green though. You'll move Danny Green again.
He was the guy we brought. He was the guy we brought in to shoot the threes.
But if you turn Danny Green,
I'd rather keep Thibault than Green.
But if you turn Danny Green into Oladipo, your GM's doing something right.
Yes, definitely. All right, let me ask you guys.
On the Sixers, to be honest with you,
let me ask.
Fits better.
All right, so fuck Harden. Let me ask you guys because you guys are more NBA than me. This thing about Russell Westbrook, and you guys have been on record saying you don't want Westbrook on the Knicks. Now, when I look at Westbrook, I see a bigger Allen Iverson. Westbrook can run. He's a ridiculous athlete. He can dunk on anybody. Maybe he's not as good a shooter, but he's angry. He's a ridiculous athlete. Why isn't there some team out there that takes Westbrook and surrounds him with defense and rebounding like the Sixers did with Iverson?
All right, so there's a couple of reasons for that.
Yeah.
Number one is Iverson, vastly superior scorer to Westbrook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vastly superior scorer to Westbrook. I mean, Iverson.
Just because he was a better shooter? Because Iverson used to run and dunk on people too.
No.
And Iverson was smaller than Westbrook.
Not shooter, scorer. Because even around the rim, Iverson a better finisher with layups and dunks than Westbrook is. Iverson just a more gifted offensive player. Better shooter all around. The other thing is Westbrook seems to be pissing off teammates. Those guys in Philly fucking loved Iverson. Fuck yeah. Fought for him. Eric Snow would have fought for him. McKee would have fought for him. All those guys, Tyrone Hill, all those guys loved Iverson. Part of the NBA is everybody can play, but you got to mesh a lot of personalities. Westbrook seems to be a dick.
One thing I think they don't like about Westbrook, when he was on that triple-double streak, he would be in the game at the end of the game. They would be up 20, 30 points, and he'd be like purposely taking away rebounds from other guys just to get the stat.
Yeah, he's a me guy.
Just to get the stat, just to get the triple-double. And those other guys are probably thinking like, yo, motherfucker, I need this rebound on my stats so I can get paid and stay on the goddamn team.
Yeah, right. The other thing with Westbrook is that he's on the downside of his career. His entire game is predicated on athleticism,
speed, and explosiveness.
And he's still explosive for a regular human, but as far as an NBA player is involved, it's starting to slow down a little bit. And he does
look like a Ninja Turtle though, so maybe he has some second gear to kick in.
Well, maybe it's the fact that they only got 3 fingers on each hand is why he can't fucking shoot.
That's and also when people guard him, they give him so much space and then negate some of that speed. So they want him to shoot. That's what you're doing.
Can't shoot. Westbrook would be horrible on the Sixers, by the way. So please don't let that happen.
I'm not talking about the Sixers. I'm just wondering why there's not a team out there that doesn't grab him and kind of use that same formula. Because Iverson, basically what Larry Brown did is he was like, okay, that dude's going to score all the points. All the rest of you guys are going to play defense and rebound for him.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering why somebody doesn't do that for Westbrook. I know you guys don't like Westbrook. You guys don't want him on the Knicks. But, like, if I'm some bullshit team out there, let's be honest, the NBA, you usually know by the time the playoffs hits who the 4 or 5 best teams are going to be. the Heat came out of nowhere this year, but like everybody knew Lakers, Clippers, Bucks.
Yeah. But Westbrook's also on a supermax contract where he's getting paid $40 million plus the next 2 years. That's the other problem too. So yeah, you may want to, if you're Sacramento, yeah, fuck it. We're not going to get a player that good. We'll take him. But
man, some bullshit team like that.
But you're not going to win anything, and you're paying a guy almost $50 million just to what? Get 2 more nights on TNT because they're not going to sell out in Sacramento anyway. So he's too much. Yeah, there's a lot of good, pros you can check off. He always gives maximum effort. He plays
I just want
to
see him fight one of the fans in Utah before it's all over. I want to see him go into the stands and brawl.
He's got way too much money on the line. He won't fight.
So Jake Paul, if you want to fight,
he can't throw hands anyway.
Jake Paul, if you want to fight somebody, fight Russell Westbrook.
No, I want Jake Paul to fight Zach Randolph. That is the fight that I want. I want Zach Randolph, and I want it outside like the Thriller in Manila, and I want people chanting Randolph, Boombaye, Randolph, Boombaye. Somebody needs to.
Ewan Bay!
Nate Robinson. Somebody needs to knock out Jake Paul.
Speaking of which, in South Florida, it's really cold here today. It's nice football weather.
But we're dropping into the 40s tonight.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We got football on at 3:40 tomorrow.
3:40, baby.
We got basketball.
What time's it on? 4:20?
I wish.
Well, Central time. On Central time. We're out. It's been another edition of CrackBacks. Holla at you boys.